My beloved child, come closer and listen carefully, for I want to remind you of a truth that many people spend their entire lives searching for, yet never fully understand. You have been looking for light in places where it was never meant to be found. You have searched for peace in circumstances, for security in people, and for purpose in achievements. Yet the light your soul longs for, it has always begun with me. Before the mountains were formed, before the stars were placed in the heavens, before your first breath entered your lungs, I knew you. I formed you with intention, love, and purpose. I did not create you to wander endlessly through darkness, trying to discover your worth through the opinions of others. I created you to live in my light, and to carry that light wherever you go. Many of my children believe that light is something they must constantly chase. They think that if they achieve enough, earn enough, or become enough, they will finally find the peace they seek. Yet worldly light is temporary. It shines brightly for a moment, and then fades away. Human approval changes like the wind. Success can disappear overnight. Circumstances rise and fall like waves upon the sea. But my light is different. My light does not depend on circumstances. It does not grow weaker when storms arrive. It does not disappear when night falls. My light flows from my eternal nature. And because I am eternal, the light I give can never truly be extinguished. My child, understand this deeply. I have not called you merely to look at the light. I have called you to carry it. When you invited me into your life, something holy happened within you. My presence did not remain far away in the heavens while you struggled alone on earth. My spirit came to dwell within you. The light of heaven was planted deep inside your soul like a seed waiting to grow. That means you are not merely someone searching for hope. You are someone created to reflect hope. You are not merely someone searching for peace. You are someone created to carry peace. You are not merely someone searching for love. You are someone created to reveal my love. The world may tell you that your value depends on what you accomplish. But I tell you that your value was established long before you accomplished anything. Your worth comes from the fact that you are loved by your Father. Many people walk through life believing they are empty. They constantly seek validation because they do not understand what already lives within them. They search for identity in careers, relationships, popularity, and possessions. Yet even after obtaining these things, they often feel something is still missing. Do you know why? Because nothing created can take the place of the Creator. Only my presence can satisfy the deepest hunger of your soul. Only my love can heal the hidden wounds that no one else can see. Only my light can illuminate the places where fear has tried to build its home. My beloved child, there have been moments when you felt alone. There have been nights when you wondered whether I was near. There have been seasons when circumstances seemed darker than ever before. Yet even during those moments, my light never left you. You may not have felt it. You may not have seen it, but it was there. A lamp does not cease to exist simply because fog surrounds it. The fog may hide the light for a time, but it cannot destroy the flame. In the same way, difficulties may cloud your vision, but they cannot remove my presence from your life. I want you to stop measuring my nearness by your emotions. There will be days when you feel strong and confident. There will also be days when your heart feels tired and your faith feels small. Yet my presence does not change according to your feelings. I am faithful when you feel strong, and I am faithful when you feel weak. When fear whispers that you are alone, remember that I am with you. When doubt tells you that nothing will ever change, remember that I am still working. When disappointment tries to convince you that your future is hopeless, remember that I am still writing your story. My child, light does not become valuable because darkness exists. Light is valuable because of what it reveals. My light reveals who you truly are. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are not defined by your failures. You are not defined by the wounds others have caused. You are not defined by the seasons when you stumbled and fell. You are defined by my love. The enemy would like you to focus only on your weaknesses. He wants you to spend your life staring at your failures until you forget who you are. But I am calling you to lift your eyes higher. Look beyond your fears. Look beyond your disappointments. Look beyond your limitations. Look toward me. The more you look toward me, the more clearly you will see yourself through my eyes. When a mirror is covered with dust, it cannot reflect clearly. The problem is not the mirror. The problem is the dust. In the same way, my light has never stopped shining within you. Sometimes fear, worry, bitterness, and self-doubt simply cover your vision. That is why I invite you into my presence, not because I want to condemn you, not because I want to point out your failures, but because I want to wash away everything that prevents you from seeing clearly. Every moment spent with me cleans the mirror of your soul. Every prayer draws you closer to the source of life. Every act of surrender allows my light to shine more freely through you. Do not underestimate the power of small moments with me. A single prayer spoken with sincerity can change the atmosphere of your heart. A few moments spent reading my word can bring clarity where confusion once ruled. One act of obedience can open a door that fear has kept closed for years. You often look for dramatic signs, but many of my greatest works begin quietly. A seed grows beneath the soil long before anyone sees a tree. The dawn begins before the sun appears above the horizon. A river begins with a small stream, and transformation often begins with a single step toward me. Me, beloved child, I see the battles you fight that others do not understand. I see the questions you carry. I see the burdens you try to hide. I see the tears you wipe away before anyone notices. And I want you to know that none of these things are hidden from me. I am not distant from your struggles. I am present within them. Even now, while you read these words, my light is reaching places within your heart that have felt cold for a long time. Areas where disappointment tried to settle. Areas where fear tried to grow roots. Areas where hope became difficult to hold on to. I am speaking life into those places. I am reminding you that darkness is never permanent. Night eventually gives way to dawn. Winter eventually gives way to spring. And every season of waiting eventually reveals what I have been preparing all along. Do not lose heart. Do not allow temporary darkness to convince you that the light is gone. The light is still within you. It burns because I placed it there. It endures because I sustain it. It shines because I am its source. And no power of darkness can overcome what I have established. So today, my child, stop searching for your identity in places that cannot satisfy your soul. Stop looking to the world for confirmation of what I have already declared about you. You are loved. You are chosen. You are known. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not walking through life alone. My spirit is with you. My hand is upon you. My light is within you. Walk forward with confidence, not because you understand everything, but because you know the one who holds your future. Walk forward with hope, not because every problem has disappeared, but because my presence remains. Walk forward with faith, knowing that the light inside you is greater than the darkness around you. For I am your Father. I am your source. And as long as you remain close to me, the flame within your soul will continue to burn, guiding your steps, strengthening your heart, and shining brightly enough to lead others toward the hope that can only be found in me. My beloved child, remember this truth today and forever. You are not searching for the light. You carry the light because I am with you. Asterisk, asterisk. My beloved child, remain close to me and learn the secret that many overlook while searching for strength, peace, and purpose. The greatest transformation in your life will never come from trying harder, striving more, or relying solely upon your own understanding. It comes from abiding in me. Just as a branch cannot produce fruit by itself, unless it remains connected to the vine, neither can your soul flourish apart from my presence. Many people exhaust themselves trying to become stronger, wiser, holier, and more successful through human effort alone. Yet they often find themselves weary because they are attempting to carry burdens that were never meant to rest upon their shoulders. I did not create you to live disconnected from the source of life. I created you to live in continual fellowship with me. When you abide in me, my peace becomes your peace. My wisdom becomes your guidance. My strength becomes your support, and my love becomes the foundation upon which your entire life stands. Understand this deeply, my child. Abiding is not a momentary visit into my presence, but a daily relationship that grows stronger through trust, surrender, and love. It is choosing to remain near me when life is easy and when life is difficult. It is seeking my voice when answers seem delayed and continuing to trust me when the road ahead appears unclear. Many desire the fruit of my presence without remaining connected to the source of that fruit. They want peace without prayer, wisdom without seeking my word, strength without dependence on my spirit, and victory without surrender. Yet the secret has always remained the same. Stay close to me. Draw near to me, and I will draw near to you. The branch does not struggle to force fruit into existence. It simply remains connected to the vine, and fruit appears naturally as life flows through it. In the same way, true spiritual growth is not produced through constant striving, but through continual connection with me. When you remain near me, patience begins to replace frustration. Kindness begins to overcome harshness. Faith begins to rise above fear, and hope begins to shine where discouragement once ruled. This transformation does not happen because you are trying to impress me. It happens because my life is flowing through you. Imagine a mirror covered in dust. The mirror was designed to reflect light, but the dust prevents the reflection from appearing clearly. Many of my children are like that mirror. The light is present, yet worry, pride, bitterness, unforgiveness, anxiety, and self-reliance have settled over their hearts like dust. They wonder why they cannot clearly see my work within them. Yet the problem is not that my light has disappeared. The problem is that too many things have clouded their vision. This is why I invite you into my presence every day. Prayer is not a duty meant to burden you. It is an invitation to allow me to gently wipe away the dust that accumulates upon your heart. Every moment spent with me cleanses your vision a little more. Every sincere prayer softens what has become hardened. Every act of surrender removes another layer of fear and self-dependence. Every time you choose forgiveness instead of bitterness, trust instead of anxiety, and humility instead of pride, the mirror becomes clearer and my light shines more brightly through your life. My beloved child, there are seasons when you will feel strong and confident, and there will be seasons when you feel weak and uncertain. Do not make the mistake of believing that you need me less during your stronger seasons. Some of the greatest dangers come when success convinces a person that they no longer need to remain close to the source of their strength. Remember that even yesterday's victories cannot sustain today's journey. The lamp that burned yesterday still requires oil today. The branch that bore fruit yesterday must remain connected today. The heart that was filled with faith yesterday must continue drawing near today. Never allow accomplishments to replace dependence upon me. Never let blessings cause you to forget the one who provided them. Remain humble enough to remember where your strength comes from. Remember Moses when he climbed the mountain to spend time in my presence. He did not ascend the mountain seeking personal glory. He simply desired to be near me. He listened, received my words, and remained in fellowship with me. When he descended from the mountain, his face shone so brightly that others recognized something extraordinary had happened. Moses did not create that light. He reflected it. The radiance came from time spent in my presence. In the same way, when you spend time with me, others will begin to notice something different about your life. They may not always understand it. They may not even be, yet they will sense peace where they expected anxiety, gentleness where they expected anger, hope where they expected despair, and wisdom where they expected confusion. They will recognize that something beyond human strength is at work within you, my child. I do not call you to perform for me. I call you to remain with me. There is a great difference. Performance seeks approval. Relationship receives love. Performance is driven by fear of failure. Relationship is sustained by trust. Performance exhausts the soul because it constantly asks, "Have I done enough?" Relationship rests because it knows it is already loved. Too many of my children spend their lives trying to earn what I freely give. They work tirelessly hoping to prove themselves worthy of, yet my love was never purchased by your performance. My love flows from my heart. You are not accepted because you are perfect. You are accepted because you are mine. Therefore, stop striving to impress me and begin resting in my presence. Let my love heal the places where insecurity has taken root. Let my grace quiet the voice that constantly tells you that you must do more to be worthy. When you understand how deeply you are loved, obedience will no longer feel like a burden. It will become a joyful response to the one who first loved you. Abiding in me also means learning to trust me in the unseen places. There will be times when answers do not come as quickly as you desire. There will be moments when prayers seem unanswered and circumstances remain unchanged. In those moments, continue to remain close to me. A branch does not disconnect itself from the vine during a storm. In fact, it clings more tightly. The same is true for your soul. Difficult seasons are not invitations to move away from me. They are opportunities to draw even closer. Trust that I am working beneath the surface, even when you cannot yet see visible results. A seed grows in hidden places before it ever breaks through the soil. Roots develop long before branches appear. Much of my greatest work in your life happens where human eyes cannot see. While you focus on outward circumstances, I am often transforming your heart, strengthening your faith, deepening your character, and preparing you for blessings not yet visible. Do not despise the hidden work. What grows deeply endures strongly. My beloved child, learn to return to me again and again. Return when you are joyful. Return when you are weary. Return when you are confident. Return when you are uncertain. Return when you succeed. Return when you fail. Do not allow shame to keep you distant. Do not allow pride to convince you that you no longer need me. Keep coming back. Keep abiding. Keep remaining. For every time you draw near, my peace flows into your heart. My wisdom illuminates your path. My strength renews your spirit. My love restores what has become weary. The secret of a radiant life has never been human perfection. It has always been divine connection. Stay connected to me, and my life will continue flowing through you like a river that never runs dry. Stay close to me, and my light will shine through every word you speak, every decision you make, and every step you take. Stay with me, and you will discover that the greatest miracle is not becoming someone extraordinary in the eyes of the world, but becoming a person so deeply rooted in my presence that my love naturally overflows into everything you do. For when you abide in me and I abide in you, your life becomes a living testimony that heaven is still touching the earth, and my light continues to shine through those who choose to remain close to their Father. My beloved child, I want you to understand something that can change the way you see your life forever. The light I have placed within you was never meant to remain hidden. I did not fill your heart with my presence so that you could keep it only for yourself. I have called you to become a reflection of my love in a world that is desperately searching for hope. Many people believe that being a light means standing in front of crowds, achieving great things, or becoming known by many. But my ways are often different from the ways of the world. The world searches for greatness in what is loud, impressive, and highly visible. Yet I often reveal my glory through quiet acts of faithfulness that few people ever notice. A gentle word spoken at the right moment can heal a heart that has carried pain for years. A simple act of kindness can remind a weary soul that they are not forgotten. A prayer whispered in secret can create changes that are seen only in eternity. Never underestimate what I can do through a life surrendered to me. My child, when I call you to be a light, I am not asking you to become someone else. I am not asking you to pretend to be perfect. I am not asking you to hide your weaknesses or act as though you have never struggled. I am simply asking you to allow my presence within you to shine through every area of your life. Light does not strive to be noticed. It simply shines. A lamp does not argue with darkness. It simply fulfills its purpose by illuminating whatever surrounds it. In the same way, I am calling you to walk through your days carrying my peace, my love, and my truth, so that others may see evidence of my presence through your life. There are people around you who are fighting battles you know nothing about. Some smile while carrying deep sorrow. Some appear strong while feeling broken inside. Some seem successful while secretly struggling with loneliness, fear, and despair. I see every heart, and many of those hearts are searching for hope. That is why I have placed you where you are. You may think your daily life is ordinary, but I tell you that every place your feet touch can become a place where my light is revealed. When you walk into a room filled with tension and choose gentleness instead of anger, my light is present. When you respond to criticism with grace rather than bitterness, my light is present. When you forgive someone who does not deserve forgiveness, my light is present. When you choose honesty even when dishonesty would seem easier, my light is present. The world often expects darkness to answer darkness, but my children are called to answer darkness with light. My beloved child, remember the words my son spoke when he said, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." He did not say you might become the light one day after reaching perfection. He said, "You are the light because my Spirit lives within you." Your value does not come from flawless performance. Your value comes from my presence. The enemy would like you to believe that your weaknesses disqualify you from being used by me. He wants you to focus so much on your imperfections that you forget the power of the one who lives within you. But I have never called perfect people. I call willing hearts. I have always worked through ordinary individuals who simply trust. Moses felt inadequate, yet I used him. David was overlooked, yet I chose him. Peter stumbled many times, yet I built him into a leader. Their strength was never found in themselves. Their strength was found in me. The same is true for you. Do not spend your life waiting until you feel completely ready before allowing my light to shine. If you wait for perfection, you will wait. Instead, allow me to work through you today, exactly where you are. My child, some of the brightest lights are not those standing on stages, but those quietly serving others in love. A mother praying for her children is a light. A father leading his family with integrity is a light. A friend who listens with compassion is a light. A worker who acts honestly when no one is watching is a light. A believer who remains faithful during difficult seasons is a light. Heaven notices what the world often overlooks. The smallest acts done with love can carry eternal significance. Never measure your impact by human applause. Some seeds planted in faith may not bloom for years, yet they still matter deeply to me. There are moments when you will not immediately see the results of your obedience. You may offer kindness and receive no gratitude. You may extend forgiveness and receive no apology. You may pray for someone and see no immediate change, yet do not become discouraged. Light does not stop shining simply because it is not praised. Continue loving, continue serving, continue trusting, continue reflecting my character. I am always working beyond what your eyes can see. My beloved child, I also want you to understand that being a light requires protecting your heart. A lamp must remain supplied with oil if it is to continue burning. In the same way, your soul must remain connected to me. You cannot pour into others if you are constantly neglecting your own relationship with me. Spend time in my presence. Let my word renew your mind. Let prayer strengthen your spirit. Let worship lift your eyes above the distractions of this world. The brighter your connection with me becomes, the more naturally my light will flow through you. Do not try to manufacture light through human effort. Simply remain close to the source. A branch does not force fruit into existence. It remains connected to the vine. Likewise, your responsibility is not to create spiritual power, but to remain connected to me. As you do, my love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control will naturally begin to grow within you. These qualities become visible evidence of my presence in your life. My child, there will be moments when darkness around you appears overwhelming. You may see injustice, suffering, division, fear, and discouragement. You may feel tempted to believe that your small light cannot make a difference. But remember this: darkness has never defeated light. Even the smallest flame can transform a completely dark room. One act of kindness can begin healing. One word of encouragement can restore hope. One prayer can change the course of a life. One faithful believer can influence generations. Never underestimate the impact of a life fully surrendered to me. You may not always recognize how I am using you, but I am working through your obedience in ways you cannot yet imagine. There are people who will find hope because you remained faithful. There are people who will experience love because you chose compassion. There are people who will encounter my presence because you allowed my light to shine through your life. Therefore, do not hide what I have placed within you. Do not allow fear, insecurity, comparison, or self-doubt to cover the light I have given you. Let your words carry grace. Let your actions reflect love. Let your decisions demonstrate integrity. Let your life point beyond yourself to the Father who loves the world. You do not need to become famous to make an eternal impact. You only need to remain faithful. Every day presents opportunities to shine. Every conversation presents opportunities to reflect my character. Every challenge presents opportunities to reveal my peace. Every act of obedience becomes another testimony of my goodness. My beloved child, walk confidently knowing that I have placed my light within you for a purpose. Let your life become a testimony that hope still exists, that love is still powerful, that grace is still available, and that the Father is still near. Shine not so that others will admire you, but so that they may recognize me. Shine not for recognition, but for revelation. Shine not through pride, but through humility. And as you continue walking with me, you will discover that the greatest joy is not being noticed by the world, but being used by your Father to guide lost and weary souls back toward the everlasting light of my love. My beloved child, I want you to understand something that can change the way you see your life forever. The light I have placed within you was never meant to remain hidden. I did not fill your heart with my presence so that you could keep it only for yourself. I have called you to become a reflection of my love in a world that is desperately searching for hope. Many people believe that being a light means standing in front of crowds, achieving great things, or becoming known by many. But my ways are often different from the ways of the world. The world searches for greatness in what is loud, impressive, and highly visible. Yet I often reveal my glory through quiet acts of faithfulness that few people ever notice. A gentle word spoken at the right moment can heal a heart that has carried pain for years. A simple act of kindness can remind a weary soul that they are not forgotten. A prayer whispered in secret can create changes that are seen only in eternity. Never underestimate what I can do through a life surrendered to me. My child, when I call you to be a light, I am not asking you to become someone else. I am not asking you to pretend to be perfect. I am not asking you to hide your weaknesses or act as though you have never struggled. I am simply asking you to allow my presence within you to shine through every area of your life. Light does not strive to be noticed. It simply shines. A lamp does not argue with darkness. It simply fulfills its purpose by illuminating whatever surrounds it. In the same way, I am calling you to walk through your days carrying my peace, my love, and my truth, so that others may see evidence of my presence through your life. There are people around you who are fighting battles you know nothing about. Some smile while carrying, some appear strong while feeling broken inside. Some seem successful while secretly struggling with loneliness, fear, and despair. I see every heart, and many of those hearts are searching for hope. That is why I have placed you where you are. You may think your daily life is ordinary, but I tell you that every place your feet touch can become a place where my light is revealed. When you walk into a room filled with tension and choose gentleness instead of anger, my light is present. When you respond to criticism with grace rather than bitterness, my light is present. When you forgive someone who does not deserve forgiveness, my light is present. When you choose honesty even when dishonesty would seem easier, my light is present. The world often expects darkness to answer darkness, but my children are called to answer darkness with light. My beloved child, remember the words my son spoke when he said, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." He did not say you might become the light one day after reaching perfection. He said, "You are the light because my spirit lives within you." Your value does not come from flawless performance. Your value comes from my presence. The enemy would like you to believe that your weaknesses disqualify you from being used by me. He wants you to focus so much on your imperfections that you forget the power of the one who lives within you. But I have never called perfect people. I call willing hearts. I have always worked through ordinary individuals who simply Moses felt inadequate, yet I used him. David was overlooked, yet I chose him. Peter stumbled many times, yet I built him into a leader. Their strength was never found in themselves. Their strength was found in me. The same is true for you. Do not spend your life waiting until you feel completely ready before allowing my light to shine. If you wait for perfection, instead, allow me to work through you today, exactly where you are. My child, some of the brightest lights are not those standing on stages, but those quietly serving others in love. A mother praying for her children is a light. A father leading his family with integrity is a light. A friend who listens with compassion is a light. A worker who acts honestly when no one is watching is a light. A believer who remains faithful during difficult seasons is a light. Heaven notices what the world often overlooks. The smallest acts done with love can carry eternal significance. Never measure your impact by human applause. Some seeds planted in faith may not bloom for years, yet they still matter deeply to me. There are moments when you will not immediately see the results of your obedience. You may offer kindness and receive no gratitude. You may extend forgiveness and receive no apology. You may pray for someone and see no immediate change. Yet do not become discouraged. Light does not stop shining simply because it is not praised. Continue loving. Continue serving, continue trusting, continue reflecting my character. I am always working beyond what your eyes can see. My beloved child, I also want you to understand that being a light requires protecting your heart. A lamp must remain supplied with oil if it is to continue burning. In the same way, your soul must remain connected to me. You cannot pour into others if you are constantly neglecting your own relationship with me. Spend time in my presence. Let my word renew your mind. Let prayer strengthen your spirit. Let worship lift your eyes above the distractions of this world. The brighter your connection with me becomes, the more naturally my light will flow through you. Do not try to manufacture light through human effort. Simply remain close to the source. A branch does not force fruit into existence. It remains connected to the vine. Likewise, your responsibility is not to create spiritual power, but to remain connected to me. As you do, my love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control will naturally begin to grow within you. These qualities become visible evidence of my presence in your life. My child, there will be moments when darkness around you appears overwhelming. You may see injustice, suffering, division, fear, and discouragement. You may feel tempted to believe that your small light cannot make a difference. But remember this, darkness has never defeated light. Even the smallest flame can transform a completely dark room. One act of kindness can begin healing. One word of encouragement can restore hope. One prayer can change the course of a life. One faithful believer can influence generations. Never underestimate the impact of a life fully surrendered to me. You may not always recognize how I am using you, but I am working through your obedience in ways you cannot yet imagine. There are people who will find hope because you remained faithful. There are people who will experience love because you chose compassion. There are people who will encounter my presence because you allowed my light to shine through your life. Therefore, do not hide what I have placed within you. Do not allow fear, insecurity, comparison, or self-doubt to cover the light I have given you. Let your words carry grace. Let your actions reflect love. Let your decisions demonstrate integrity. Let your life point beyond yourself to the Father who loves the world. You do not need to become famous to make an eternal impact. You only need to remain faithful. Every day presents opportunities to shine. Every conversation presents opportunities to reflect my character. Every challenge presents opportunities to reveal my peace. Every act of obedience becomes another testimony of my goodness. My beloved child, walk confidently knowing that I have placed my light within you for a purpose. Let your life become a testimony that hope still exists, that love is still powerful, that grace is still available, and that the Father is still near. Shine not so that others will admire you, but so that they may recognize me. Shine not for recognition, but for revelation. Shine not through pride, but through humility. And as you continue walking with me, you will discover that the greatest joy is not being noticed by the world, but being used by your Father to guide lost and weary souls back toward the everlasting light of my love. My beloved child, there are moments in your life when you stand before a closed door and wonder why it did not open. You pray, you hope, you plan, and you believe that a certain opportunity, relationship, dream, or direction is exactly what you need. Yet the answer does not come as expected. In those moments, disappointment can settle heavily upon your heart. But today I want you to understand a truth that can bring peace to your soul. I am not only the God who opens doors, I am also the God who lovingly closes doors for your protection. Because I see what you cannot see, I know where every path leads long before you take the first step. What appears to be a blessing from your perspective may contain hidden pain that only I can see. What seems like a delay may actually be an act of mercy. What feels like rejection may be divine redirection towards something greater than you have imagined. My child, Trust me when the answer is not what you expected. Trust me when the timing feels slow. Trust me when the path becomes unclear. I have never stopped working for your good. Many of my children become discouraged because they believe my provision should always arrive in the form they desire. They create expectations about how I will answer their prayers, and when the answer arrives differently, they struggle to recognize my hand. Yet my provision is not limited to your expectations. Sometimes I provide exactly what you ask for. Sometimes I provide something different. Sometimes I provide strength instead of immediate rescue, wisdom instead of instant solutions, patience instead of quick results, or peace instead of changed circumstances. But in every season I remain your provider. Never confuse my methods with my faithfulness. Just because I work differently than you expected does not mean I have abandoned you. I know exactly what you need, and I know exactly when you need it. Remember Abraham when I called him to place Isaac upon the altar. From a human perspective, nothing about that situation made sense. Isaac represented a promise that had taken years to arrive. Abraham loved his son deeply, and yet I asked him to surrender what seemed most precious. Abraham did not understand everything, but he trusted my character. He believed that even if he could not see the solution, I would remain faithful to my promise. And when the moment came, I provided exactly what was needed. A ram appeared at the right place and at the right time. That day Abraham learned a truth that I want you to remember. I am Jehovah Jireh, the Lord who provides. My provision is never late. My provision is never insufficient. My provision is always perfectly aligned with my wisdom and my love. My beloved child, there are areas of your life where I am asking you to trust me beyond what you can currently understand. You may be holding tightly to a plan, a dream, a relationship, or an expectation because you are afraid of what will happen if you let go. Yet surrender is not loss when it is placed in my hands. Whatever you entrust to me is safer with me than it could ever be in your own control. The world teaches you to grasp tightly, to control every detail, and to depend entirely upon your own understanding. But I am teaching you a different way. I am teaching you to trust. Trust does not mean ignoring reality. Trust means believing that my wisdom exceeds your own. Trust means choosing faith when certainty is unavailable. Trust means resting in my promises even when your emotions are unsettled. There will be times when your resources seem limited and your needs appear great. During those seasons, remember that I am not limited by what limits you. Human calculations may say there is not enough. Human reasoning may conclude that the situation is impossible. Yet I am the God who fed thousands with a few loaves and fish. I am the God who provided water in the wilderness and manna from heaven. I am the God who caused oil to continue flowing when it should have run out. My ability to provide is not constrained by earthly limitations. What appears impossible to people remains possible for me. Therefore, do not allow fear to become your counselor. Do not let scarcity shape your decisions more than faith. Lift your eyes above what you can currently see, and remember who I am. My child, I know that waiting can be difficult. Waiting often feels like standing between a promise and its fulfillment. You know what I have spoken to your heart, yet you do not see it fully manifested. In those moments, impatience may tempt you to move ahead. You may feel pressure to force doors open, create your own solutions, or settle for less than what I have planned. But I tell you this, what is built through impatience often creates burdens that patience would have avoided. Learn to trust my timing. A fruit picked before it is ripe cannot fulfill its purpose. A foundation rushed into place may not support what is built upon it. In the same way, blessings received before the proper season may become difficult to sustain. I prepare both the blessing and the person who will receive it. While you are waiting, I am working. While you are praying, I am preparing. While you are wondering if anything is happening, I am arranging details that you cannot yet see. Never assume that silence means inactivity. Much of my work takes place beneath the surface long before visible results appear. My beloved child, there is also a provision greater than material blessings, financial resources, or earthly opportunities. It is the provision of my presence. There are seasons when circumstances cannot immediately change, but even then, I provide peace that surpasses understanding. I provide comfort when sorrow feels overwhelming. I provide strength when your energy is depleted. I provide courage when fear attempts to dominate your thoughts. Some of the greatest gifts I give are not things placed into your hands, but qualities formed within your heart. The world often measures provision by what is visible, but heaven also measures provision by the transformation taking place within you. Every day that you depend upon me, your faith grows stronger. Every challenge that drives you closer to me deepens your relationship with me. Every moment of surrender increases your capacity to receive what I have prepared. My child, stop viewing every closed door as a failure. Some closed doors are evidence of my protection. Some delays are evidence of my wisdom. Some disappointments are evidence of my love. If I removed every obstacle simply because you requested it, you would walk into situations that would ultimately harm you. But because I love you, I guide you with greater understanding than your own. One day you will look back and recognize that some of the things you desperately wanted would not have led you where you hoped. You will see how my hand protected you when you did not even realize you needed protection. You will understand why certain opportunities disappeared and why certain paths were blocked. Until then, trust me, my beloved child, your future is not hanging by a thread of chance. It rests securely within my hands. The same God who knows the number of stars in the sky knows every detail of your life. The same God who clothes the flowers of the field and feeds the birds of the air is watching over you. If I care for creation with such attention, how much more do I care for you, my beloved child? Therefore, release your anxiety into my hands. Lay down the burden of trying to control every outcome. Let go of the fear that you will somehow miss what I have planned for you. What I have prepared cannot be stolen by circumstances, delayed by human opposition, or destroyed by temporary setbacks. My purpose for your life remains secure because it is established by me. Continue walking forward in faith. Continue praying. Continue trusting. Continue obeying. Even when you cannot see the entire picture, know that I am weaving every detail together according to my perfect wisdom. And when the right door opens, you will recognize that my timing was better than your timing. My plan was greater than your plan, and my provision was more complete than anything you could have imagined. Until that day, rest in this truth. I am your Father. I am your provider. I am your guide, and I will never fail to supply exactly what you need for every season, every challenge, and every step of the journey I have prepared for you. My beloved child, today I want to teach you about a powerful gift that many believers underestimate: the gift of intercessory prayer. Prayer is not merely a religious activity or a routine you perform when you need something from me. Prayer is a sacred connection between your heart and mine, a holy invitation to participate in my work upon the earth. And intercessory prayer, the act of praying on behalf of others, is one of the greatest expressions of love you can offer. When you pray for someone else, you step beyond your own needs and concerns and begin carrying the burdens of another soul before my throne. You become a vessel through which my compassion flows, a bridge through which my grace reaches those who may be too weary, too wounded, or too overwhelmed to pray for themselves. My child, never underestimate what happens when you pray. Many times you look for immediate evidence and visible results, but much of what prayer accomplishes takes place in realms beyond human sight. Just because you cannot see movement does not mean nothing is happening. Just because circumstances remain unchanged for a time does not mean your prayers are ineffective. I hear every sincere prayer that rises from a heart of faith. Not a single word spoken to me is wasted. Not a single tear shed in prayer goes unnoticed. Not a single cry for help escapes my attention. When you pray, heaven listens. When you pray, spiritual battles are affected. When you pray, strength is released. Hearts are softened. Doors begin to move, and my purposes advance in ways you often cannot yet perceive. Remember, Moses standing upon the hill while the battle raged below. As long as his hands remained lifted, victory advanced. When his hands grew weary, others came alongside him and helped support. There are people around you who are fighting battles they cannot win alone. Some are battling fear. Some are battling addiction. Some are battling sickness. Some are battling discouragement, confusion, loneliness, or spiritual exhaustion. They may not even tell anyone what they are carrying, yet I see their struggles, and I often call my children to stand in prayer for one another. Your prayers may become the support that strengthens someone who feels ready to give up. Your prayers may become the encouragement that reaches a heart on the verge of despair. My beloved child, understand that intercession is not about controlling outcomes according to your desires. It is about partnering with my will. True intercession begins with compassion and is guided by trust. It is bringing people before me and saying, Father, let your will be done. Let your wisdom prevail. Let your grace move in this situation. When you pray in this way, you align your heart with my purposes. You stop carrying burdens alone and begin placing them into my hands. There are times when you do not know exactly what to pray. You see someone's pain, but you do not know the solution. You recognize a need, but you do not understand the details. Do not let that stop you from praying. My Spirit helps those who are willing. Even when words fail, I understand the language of your heart. Romans 8 reminds you that my Spirit intercedes with groanings too deep for words. When you do not know what to say, come before me anyway. Offer your concern, your compassion, and your faith. I know how to complete what you cannot fully express, my child. Prayer is not measured by eloquence. It is measured by sincerity. You do not need impressive language to move my heart. You do not need perfect words. You do not need lengthy speeches. A simple prayer spoken with genuine faith can accomplish more than many words spoken without trust. Never compare your prayers to those of others. Never believe that only certain people can pray effectively. Every child who comes before me with a sincere heart has access to my throne. The power of prayer is not found in human ability, but in the one who hears it. I am the source of its power. Therefore, pray boldly. Pray confidently, pray with faith, not because you understand everything, but because you trust the one who does. My beloved child, there are people connected to your life for whom I have specifically called you to pray. Some are family members, some are friends, some are co-workers, neighbors, or even strangers whose burdens I have placed upon your heart. When you feel compassion for someone, do not ignore it. Sometimes what you call concern is actually an invitation to intercede. Instead of merely worrying about people, pray for them. Worry carries burdens without power. Prayer places burdens into my hands. Worry magnifies problems. Prayer magnifies faith. Worry drains your strength. Prayer renews your spirit. Whenever anxiety tempts you to carry what you cannot control, transform that concern into prayer. Bring it before me and trust me to work in ways beyond your understanding. My child, some of your greatest spiritual victories will occur not when you are praying for yourself, but when you are praying for others. Intercession changes your perspective. It lifts your eyes beyond your own struggles and reminds you that my kingdom is larger than any individual situation. As you pray for others, compassion grows within you. Love deepens, humility increases. Your heart becomes more aligned with mine because you begin caring about what I care about. The more you intercede, the more you learn to see people through my eyes. You begin recognizing that behind every difficult person is a story, behind every wound is pain, behind every failure is a need for grace. Intercessory prayer softens the heart and teaches you to love as I love. My beloved child, do not become discouraged if answers seem delayed. Some prayers are answered quickly. Others unfold over time. Remember that I see the entire picture while you see only a small portion. There are situations where I am working through circumstances, shaping hearts, preparing opportunities, and arranging details long before visible change appears. Continue praying even when results are not immediate. Continue trusting even when progress seems slow. Persistence in prayer is not an attempt to convince me to care. I already care deeply. Persistence strengthens your faith and demonstrates your trust in my timing. Think of the widow who continually sought justice until her request was answered. Think of Elijah who prayed repeatedly for rain before a cloud finally appeared on the horizon. Faithful prayer often requires perseverance. Do not quit simply because you cannot yet see what I am doing. My child, there are also moments when I will answer prayer differently than expected. Sometimes you ask me to remove a challenge, and instead I provide strength to endure it. Sometimes you ask me to change a person, and instead I begin changing your perspective. Sometimes you ask for immediate rescue, and instead I lead you through a process that develops character and faith. Remember that my answers are always guided by wisdom and love. Trust me even when my response differs from your expectations. I see what you cannot see. I know what will ultimately produce the greatest good. My beloved child, prayer is one of the most powerful ways you participate in my work upon the earth. Through prayer you invite my peace into troubled situations. Through prayer you release blessings over others. Through prayer you stand in the gap for those who need support. Through prayer you become a partner in the unfolding of my purposes. Never believe that your prayers are small or insignificant. Heaven measures significance differently than the world. A prayer offered in secret may accomplish more than public acts that receive applause. Some of the greatest victories in history began with someone kneeling in faith and seeking my face. Therefore, remain faithful in prayer. Pray when you feel strong and when you feel weak. Pray when answers come quickly and when waiting seems long. Pray for your family, your friends, your community, and even those who oppose you. Pray with compassion. Pray with humility. Pray with trust. And as you continue to lift others before me, you will discover that intercessory prayer not only changes situations, it changes you. It draws you closer to my heart, teaches you to love more deeply, strengthens your faith, and reminds you that no burden is too heavy for the one who holds the universe in his hands. So keep praying, my beloved child. Keep standing in the gap. Keep believing. For every sincere prayer offered in faith carries eternal value. And I am always listening, always working, and always faithful to accomplish my perfect will. My beloved child, today I want to remind you of a powerful truth that many people overlook while searching for peace, breakthrough, and joy. Gratitude is not merely a response to blessings. It is a pathway that leads your heart closer to me. Many wait until every prayer is answered before they choose to be thankful. They tell themselves they will rejoice when circumstances improve, when the burden is lifted, when the healing comes, when the door opens, or when the victory arrives. But I am calling you to a deeper faith, a faith that learns to give thanks even before the answer appears. Gratitude is one of the clearest expressions of trust, because it declares that I am good even when you do not yet understand what I am doing. My child, when you choose thankfulness during difficult seasons, You are making a powerful declaration that your confidence rests not in your circumstances but in me. Anyone can be thankful when everything is going well, but gratitude that rises from a heart facing uncertainty carries special beauty. It reveals faith that has matured beyond visible evidence. It demonstrates confidence that my promises remain true even when the outcome has not yet been revealed. Many of my children unknowingly allow anxiety to occupy places in their hearts that gratitude was meant to fill. They spend their days focusing on what is missing, what is delayed, what has gone wrong, and what remains uncertain. As a result, fear grows stronger while peace becomes difficult to find. But gratitude shifts your focus. It lifts your eyes above temporary problems and reminds you of my unchanging faithfulness. It helps you remember the countless ways I have carried you, provided for you, protected you, and sustained you throughout your journey. My beloved child, there have been moments when you thought you would not make it through, yet here you are. There were battles you believed would overwhelm you, yet I gave you strength. There were nights when tears filled your eyes, yet I remained beside you. There were prayers you thought had been forgotten, yet I was working even when you could not see it. When you remember these things, gratitude naturally begins to rise within your heart. Gratitude is not denial of difficulty. It is recognition of my faithfulness in the midst of difficulty. It is choosing to acknowledge my goodness even while waiting for complete understanding. Remember Jehoshaphat and the people of Judah when a great enemy approached them. From a human perspective, the situation looked impossible. Fear could have dominated their thoughts. Panic could have controlled their actions. Yet instead of leading with despair, they chose worship. They lifted songs of praise before the victory was visible. They acknowledged my greatness before the battle was won. And as they worshipped, I moved in ways they could never have accomplished through human strength alone. This is a principle I want you to understand deeply. Praise often precedes breakthrough. Gratitude prepares your heart to recognize my work. It reminds you that I am still sovereign, even when circumstances appear threatening. My child, there is power in remembering. Many people become discouraged because they focus only on their present challenges while forgetting past victories. They remember disappointments but forget deliverance. They remember delays but forget provision. They remember failures but forget the countless times my grace sustained them. Gratitude calls you to remember differently. It invites you to look back and recognize my fingerprints throughout your story. Consider how many prayers I have already answered. Consider how many dangers I have already protected you from. Consider how many opportunities I have already provided. Consider how many times I gave you strength when you felt weak. When you begin counting these blessings, you discover that my faithfulness has been present far more often than your fears would suggest. My beloved child, gratitude also guards your heart against comparison. Comparison steals joy because it causes you to focus on what others have instead of appreciating what I have given you. The enemy loves to draw your attention towards someone else's journey because he knows comparison creates dissatisfaction. But I have not called you to live another person's story. I have written a unique purpose for your life. The blessings I have prepared for you are different from those I have prepared for someone else. Therefore, do not measure your progress against others. Do not allow envy to cloud your vision. Celebrate the blessings I have placed in your life, and trust that my plans for you remain good. Gratitude frees you from the endless cycle of comparison and allows contentment to grow within your soul. My child, thanksgiving is also a weapon against fear. Fear constantly asks, "What if things go wrong?" Gratitude answers, "God has been faithful before, and He will be faithful again." Fear focuses on uncertainty. Gratitude focuses on my character. Fear imagines worst case scenarios. Gratitude remembers proven faithfulness. The more you dwell upon my goodness, the less room fear has to control your thoughts. This does not mean challenges disappear immediately, but it means your perspective changes. You begin facing difficulties with confidence rather than panic, because you remember who walks beside you, my beloved child. There are blessings surrounding you right now that you may have overlooked because they have become familiar. The ability to wake up each morning, the breath within your lungs, the people who care about you, the lessons learned through experience, the opportunities before you, the strength to keep moving forward. These are gifts. The world often encourages people to focus only on what they do not have. But gratitude teaches you to recognize the abundance already present. When you begin noticing these gifts, joy grows naturally. Gratitude transforms ordinary moments into reminders of my goodness. A sunrise becomes evidence of my creativity. A kind word becomes evidence of my love. A moment of peace becomes evidence of my presence. The more grateful you become, the more clearly you recognize my hand at work around you. My child, gratitude does not require a perfect life. If it did, no one could truly be thankful. Gratitude is possible because I remain good, even when life is imperfect. There will be seasons of waiting. There will be unanswered questions. There will be challenges that test your faith. Yet even in those moments, there are reasons to give thanks. Thank me for my presence that never leaves you. Thank me for my promises that remain secure. Thank me for my grace that covers your weaknesses. Thank me for my mercy that renews every morning. Thank me for the future. I am preparing even when you cannot yet see it. Gratitude shifts your attention from what is lacking to the one who provides. My beloved child, I do not ask for thanksgiving because I need your praise. I ask for it because gratitude transforms your heart. It softens bitterness. It weakens anxiety. It strengthens faith. It opens your eyes to blessings you may have missed. It draws you closer to me because a grateful heart naturally recognizes my presence. When you practice thanksgiving, you begin to experience the peace described in Philippians 4:6-7, a peace that surpasses understanding and guards your heart and mind. This peace does not depend upon perfect circumstances. It flows from trust. It grows through gratitude. It remains because it is rooted in me. Therefore, my beloved child, choose thankfulness today. Give thanks not only for what you have received, but also for what I am preparing. Give thanks not only for victories already won, but also for victories still unfolding. Give thanks not only for doors that have opened, but also for the doors I have closed in wisdom and love. Give thanks in moments of abundance and in seasons of waiting. Let gratitude become a daily habit rather than an occasional response. Speak words of thanksgiving even when emotions fluctuate. Remember my faithfulness when fear attempts to speak louder than faith. Celebrate my goodness before you see the complete picture. And as you continue to cultivate a grateful heart, you will discover that thanksgiving is more than a reaction. It is a way of walking with me. It is a declaration that I am worthy of trust. It is a testimony that my goodness remains constant. It is an expression of faith that believes I am working all things together for good. So, lift your eyes, my child. Count your blessings. Remember my faithfulness. Let gratitude fill the places where anxiety once lived. Let praise rise where fear once spoke. And as thanksgiving becomes the language of your heart, you will find yourself walking in greater peace, deeper joy, stronger faith, and a closer awareness of my presence every single day. My beloved child, I know there are seasons when your soul feels weary, when the weight of disappointment seems too heavy to carry, when your strength feels exhausted, and when hope appears distant. There are moments when you look at the broken pieces of your life and wonder whether restoration is truly possible. You remember opportunities that were lost, relationships that were damaged, prayers that seemed unanswered, mistakes you wish you could undo, and seasons that left scars upon your heart. During those moments, The enemy tries to convince you that what has been broken can never be made whole again. He whispers that your best days are behind you, that your failures define you, and that your wounds are too deep to heal. But my beloved child, listen carefully to my voice, and not the voice of fear. I am the God of restoration. I specialize in bringing life where others see only ruins. I restore what has been damaged, renew what has grown weary, heal what has been wounded, and breathe hope into places that seem beyond repair. Nothing is too broken for my hands. Nothing is too lost for my love. Nothing is beyond the reach of my power. Throughout history, I have demonstrated this truth again and again. I have restored nations after devastation, renewed hearts after failure, and transformed lives that seemed completely beyond hope. Therefore, do not measure my ability by the size of your problem. Measure your problem by the greatness of your God. My child, restoration does not always mean returning things exactly as they once were. Sometimes my restoration is even greater than recovery. Sometimes I create something new from the ashes of what was lost. Many people spend their lives longing to go backward, wishing they could relive former seasons, undo past mistakes, or return to previous circumstances. But I am not merely the God of yesterday. I am also the God of tomorrow. While you are looking behind, I am often preparing something ahead. What I restore may not always look exactly like what was lost, but it will always reflect my wisdom, my purpose, and my love. Trust me enough to believe that your future can still be beautiful, even after seasons of pain. Remember the story of the prodigal son. He wandered far from home, made poor decisions, wasted valuable opportunities, and found himself broken and empty. From a human perspective, it appeared as though he had ruined everything. Yet when he turned toward home, he discovered that his father was not waiting with condemnation. His father was waiting with open arms. The father ran to meet him, embraced him, restored his dignity, and welcomed him back into relationship. My child, that story reveals my heart toward you. I am not standing at a distance waiting to punish you for every mistake. I am inviting you to return to me whenever you stumble. My grace is greater than your failures. My mercy is deeper than your regrets. My love is stronger than your shame. If you have fallen, get up and come to me. If you have wandered, return to me. If you have become weary, rest in me. I am not interested in reminding you of every failure. I am interested in restoring what has been wounded. My beloved child, some wounds are visible while others remain hidden deep within the heart. People may see your smile while never recognizing the pain you carry. They may observe your outward strength while remaining unaware of the battles taking place within your mind. But nothing is hidden from me. I see every disappointment. I see every heartbreak. I see every prayer you prayed through tears. I see every burden you have carried in silence. And because I see, I also care. You never have to convince me that your pain matters. It already matters to me because you matter to me. Bring your wounds into my presence. Stop hiding the places that need healing. You do not need to pretend to be stronger than you are. You do not need to wear a mask before me. Come honestly. Come completely. Come as you are. Healing begins when you trust me enough to place your brokenness into my hands. My child, one of the greatest obstacles to restoration is unforgiveness. Sometimes the wounds inflicted by others become chains that continue hurting you long after the original event has passed. You replay conversations, revisit painful memories, and carry burdens that were never meant to remain upon your shoulders. I understand how difficult forgiveness can be. I know the pain was real. I know the betrayal hurt. I know the loss left scars. Yet forgiveness is not about pretending the wrong never happened. Forgiveness is about releasing the right to carry the burden any longer. It is trusting me with justice and choosing freedom for your own heart. Unforgiveness keeps wounds open. forgiveness creates room for healing. As you release what has wounded you into my hands, I begin restoring peace where bitterness once lived. My beloved child, there are also times when you become weary simply because life has demanded so much from you. You have been strong for so long that you no longer know how tired you truly are. You keep moving forward, fulfilling responsibilities, carrying burdens, and helping others. Yet deep within, your soul longs for rest. Hear my invitation today. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Rest is not weakness. Rest is trust. It is allowing me to carry what you were never meant to carry alone. It is recognizing that your strength has limits, but mine does not. Stop believing that everything depends upon you. Stop carrying tomorrow's worries before tomorrow arrives. Stop exhausting yourself trying to control outcomes that belong in my hands. Let me be your refuge. Let me renew your strength. Let me restore what has been depleted, my child. Restoration often happens gradually. Just as a wounded body heals over time, the soul frequently heals through a process. Do not become discouraged if everything does not change immediately. A seed planted today does not become a tree overnight. Dawn arrives gradually before the full light appears. In the same way, healing often unfolds step by step. Celebrate progress, even when it feels small. Every prayer is a step. Every act of trust is a step. Every decision to keep moving forward is a step. I am working even when the process feels slow. What matters is not how quickly restoration occurs, but that my hand remains upon your life throughout the journey. My beloved child, I also want you to know that the years are never wasted when they are placed in my hand. You may look back and see seasons that seem lost, opportunities that appear gone forever, or mistakes that consumed valuable time, yet I am able to redeem what appears wasted. I can take lessons learned through failure and transform them into wisdom. I can use painful experiences to develop compassion. I can turn former struggles into future testimonies. Nothing surrendered to me is wasted. Even the difficult chapters become part of the story through which my faithfulness is revealed. One day you will look back and recognize that I was working even during seasons you did not understand. My child, the restoration I offer reaches beyond circumstances. It reaches into the deepest parts of your soul. I restore joy where sorrow has lingered. I restore peace where anxiety has dominated. I restore hope where discouragement has taken root. I restore confidence where fear has stolen courage. I restore purpose where confusion has created uncertainty. The world often seeks temporary solutions, but I desire lasting transformation. My healing touches the heart, renews the mind, strengthens the spirit, and prepares you for the future I have designed. Therefore, do not give up on the areas that seem broken. Do not abandon hope because progress feels slow. Do not believe the lie that your story is over. The chapter you are living today is not the final chapter. There is more ahead. There is healing ahead. There is growth ahead. There is renewed joy ahead. There is greater understanding ahead. There is fresh strength ahead. Lift your eyes beyond the pain of the present moment and look toward the promises I have spoken over your life. Trust that I am working even now. Trust that my love has not failed. Trust that restoration is possible because I am the God who makes all things new. And as you continue walking with me, you will discover that what once seemed impossible becomes a testimony of my grace. What once felt broken becomes evidence of my healing, and what once appeared lost becomes a powerful reminder that nothing is beyond the restoring power of your loving Father. My beloved child, there will be seasons in your journey when your faith feels strong and unwavering, but there will also be moments when questions arise. Uncertainty clouds your thoughts, and doubt attempts to settle within your heart. During those times, I do not want you to believe the lie that doubt automatically disqualifies you from my love or separates you from my presence. Many people imagine that true faith means never struggling, never questioning, and never feeling uncertain, but faith is often forged in the very places where questions exist. Faith is not the absence of uncertainty. It is the decision to trust me even when complete understanding has not yet arrived. My child, I know every thought that passes through your mind. I know the questions you are afraid to speak aloud. I know the moments when you wonder whether your prayers are being heard, whether your future will unfold as hoped, whether the promises I have placed in your heart will truly come to pass. None of these things surprise me. I am not intimidated by your questions, and I am not offended by your struggles. I am a loving Father, and I understand that growth often involves wrestling with things you do not yet fully understand. Remember Thomas, one of my disciples, after hearing that my son had risen from the dead. Thomas struggled to believe. He wanted evidence. He wanted certainty. He wanted answers to questions that seemed too important to ignore. Many people remember Thomas only for his doubt, but I want you to notice something important. Thomas continued seeking even while he struggled. He did not completely walk away. He remained near enough to encounter the truth when it was revealed. And when my son appeared to him, he did not reject Thomas. He met him where he was. My child, that is how I deal with you as well. When you struggle, I do not immediately push you away. I invite you closer. When questions arise, I do not abandon you. I guide you. When your understanding feels incomplete, I remain faithful because my love is not dependent upon perfect certainty. There are times when life places you in situations that challenge everything you expected. A prayer remains unanswered longer than anticipated. A door closes unexpectedly. A relationship changes. A dream seems delayed. During those moments, doubt often begins as a whisper. It asks whether I truly care. It questions whether I am still working. It wonders whether my promises remain trustworthy. If left unchecked, those whispers can grow louder until they begin shaping the way you see your circumstances. That is why I am calling you to bring every doubt into my presence, rather than allowing it to grow in isolation. Darkness thrives in hidden places, but truth flourishes in the light. Bring your questions to me. Bring your concerns to me. Bring your confusion to me. I am not asking you to pretend everything is fine when your heart is struggling. I am asking you to trust me enough to be honest. Honest faith is stronger than superficial certainty. My beloved child, consider Abraham. I gave him promises that seemed impossible. Years passed before he saw their fulfillment. There were moments when circumstances appeared completely contrary to what I had spoken, yet Abraham continued moving forward. Did he always understand everything? No, did he always feel confident? No, but he continued trusting my character even when he could not fully see my plan. This is the essence of faith. Faith does not mean possessing every answer. Faith means knowing the one who does. There will always be things beyond your understanding. There will always be moments when the path ahead appears unclear. But your peace is not found in having complete information. Your peace is found in knowing that the one guiding your journey is trustworthy. My child, one of the enemy's favorite strategies is to convince you that because you have doubts, your faith must be weak. He wants you to become discouraged whenever questions arise. He wants you to believe that struggling means failing, but growth often involves tension. A seed must break open before it can grow. Muscles become stronger through resistance. Character develops through testing. In the same way, faith often deepens when it is challenged. The questions you face today can become the very things that lead you into a deeper understanding of my faithfulness tomorrow. Do not fear the process. Allow it to draw you closer to me, rather than farther away. My beloved child, there are seasons I describe as spiritual fog. During these times, my presence may feel less obvious. Answers may seem delayed, and direction may appear uncertain. Fog can make familiar paths look unfamiliar. It can reduce visibility and create confusion. Yet fog does not remove the road beneath your feet. It only limits your ability to see far ahead. The same is true in your spiritual journey. There may be moments when you cannot clearly see what comes next, but that does not mean I have abandoned the path I prepared for you. The road still exists. My guidance remains available. My promises remain intact. The fog is temporary. The truth is permanent. Never mistake temporary uncertainty for permanent abandonment. My child, when doubt attempts to dominate your thoughts, return to what you already know to be true. You may not know how every situation will unfold, but you know that I am faithful. You may not understand every delay, but you know that I am wise. You may not see every answer, but you know that I am loving. Build your confidence upon what remains certain rather than becoming consumed by what remains unknown. The enemy wants you to focus entirely on unanswered questions. I want you to remember answered prayers. The enemy wants you to dwell on delays. I want you to remember my faithfulness throughout your journey. The enemy wants you to magnify uncertainty. I want you to magnify truth. My beloved child, faith grows through daily choices. It grows when you continue praying even when answers are delayed. It grows when you continue worshiping even during difficult seasons. It grows when you continue obeying even when the outcome remains unclear. Small acts of trust repeated consistently become powerful foundations for lasting faith. Do not underestimate the significance of continuing forward one step at a time. Some victories are not won through dramatic moments, but through quiet perseverance. Every time you choose trust over fear, faith grows stronger. Every time you choose hope over despair, faith grows deeper. Every time you choose my promises over your doubts, faith becomes more firmly rooted. My child, there will come a day when many of the questions that trouble you now will finally make sense. You will see connections you cannot currently recognize. You will understand why certain doors remained closed. You will recognize how delays protected you, how struggles strengthened you, and how challenges prepared you. But until that day arrives, walk by faith and not by sight. Trust that my perspective extends beyond your own. Trust that I am weaving together details you cannot yet see. Trust that even when circumstances seem confusing, my purposes remain secure. My beloved child, I want you to remember this. Whenever doubt tries to overwhelm you, fog can hide the sun, but it cannot remove it. Clouds can cover the sky, but they cannot extinguish the light. In the same way, temporary uncertainty may obscure your vision, but it cannot cancel my promises. Temporary confusion may limit your understanding, but it cannot stop my plans. Temporary struggles may challenge your faith, but they cannot separate you from my love. Therefore, lift your eyes above the fog and look toward me. Keep walking even when visibility is limited. Keep trusting even when answers seem distant. Keep believing even when emotions fluctuate. I am still with you. I am still leading you. I am still working behind the scenes. The dawn is closer than you realize, and the fog that troubles you today will not remain forever. Hold tightly to my hand, my beloved child. Let my truth become stronger than your doubts, my promises become louder than your fears, and my presence become more real than your uncertainty. For I have never left you, I will never abandon you, and I will faithfully guide you through every question, every challenge, and every season, until the day when faith becomes sight, and you fully see the goodness I have been preparing all along. My beloved child, as you reach this moment, I want you to pause and remember everything I have been teaching you. Through every lesson, every challenge, every season of waiting, and every moment of growth, there has been one unchanging truth: I have never left your side. Long before you understood my plans, I was already working on your behalf. Long before you recognized my hand upon your life, long before you called upon my name, I knew you completely and loved you fully. Many times you have looked at your life and focused on what seemed unfinished, uncertain, or difficult. You have worried about tomorrow, questioned your progress, and wondered whether you were truly moving in the right direction. Yet today I want you to lift your eyes above every temporary concern and see the greater picture. Your story is not defined by a single chapter. It is not defined by one mistake, one disappointment, one delay, one struggle, or one season of pain. Your story is being written by a faithful Father whose plans are greater than anything you can currently imagine. My child, there are moments when life feels like a puzzle with missing pieces. You see fragments of the picture, but you cannot yet understand how everything fits together. One event seems disconnected from another. One challenge appears unrelated to a future blessing. One delay feels unnecessary. One heartbreak seems impossible to redeem. But I see the entire picture. I see how every piece connects. I see how every lesson prepares you for what comes next. I see how every challenge strengthens you, how every trial develops your character, how every act of faith draws you closer to me, and how every season contributes to the purpose I have designed for your life. What feels confusing now will one day reveal my wisdom. What feels painful now will one day reveal my faithfulness. What feels unfinished now will one day reveal. Therefore, do not judge your entire journey based on your current location. Trust that I am still working. Trust that I am still writing. Trust that the story is not over. My beloved child, one of the greatest mistakes people make is believing that their value depends upon their accomplishments. The world teaches them to measure themselves by success, recognition, wealth, influence, and achievement. It tells them that they must constantly prove their worth. But I want you to understand something that can set your heart free. Your value was never established by what you do. Your value was established by who you are to me. You are my beloved child. Before you accomplished anything, I loved you. Before you succeeded, I loved you. Before you overcame your struggles, I loved you. My love is not a reward for performance. It is the foundation upon which your life is built. Therefore, stop striving to earn what I have already given. Stop exhausting yourself trying to prove your worth. Rest in the truth that you are deeply known, completely seen, and fully loved. Let that truth become stronger than every insecurity, every fear, and every voice that tells you that you are not enough. My child, as you move forward, remember that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing to trust me even when fear attempts to speak. There will be moments when there will be decisions that require faith. There will be opportunities that stretch you beyond your comfort zone. During those times, do not wait until you feel completely fearless before taking the next step. If you wait for fear to disappear entirely, you may never move forward. Instead, hold my hand and walk by faith. Trust that I will provide the wisdom you need when you need it. Trust that I will guide you one step at a time. Trust that my grace is sufficient for every challenge you face. You do not need to carry tomorrow's burdens today. You only need enough faith for the step directly in front of you, and I will provide that faith as you continue walking with me. My beloved child, never forget the importance of love. The world often celebrates power, achievement, and influence, but heaven places extraordinary value upon love. Love is the language of my kingdom. Love is what transforms hearts. Love is what reveals my character. When you choose kindness over harshness, forgiveness over resentment, compassion over judgment, patience over frustration, and humility over pride. You reflect my heart. People may forget your accomplishments, but they will remember how you made them feel. They will remember the grace you extended, the encouragement you offered, and the love you demonstrated. Therefore, let love guide your words. Let love shape your decisions. Let love influence your relationships. Let love become the evidence that my Spirit is working within you. My child, there will be opportunities to become discouraged. There will be moments when progress feels slow, prayers seem delayed, and answers remain hidden. During those seasons, remember everything I have taught you. Remember that waiting is not wasted when it is placed in my hands. Remember that closed doors can be acts of protection. Remember that trials can become instruments of growth. Remember that gratitude strengthens faith. Remember that restoration remains possible. Remember that prayer is powerful. Remember that darkness cannot overcome the light I have placed within you. And above all, remember that my presence remains with you through every circumstance. You are never facing life alone. I walk beside you in every valley and every victory. My beloved child, one day you will look back upon this season and see my fingerprints in places where you could not recognize them before. You will understand why certain paths unfolded as they did. You will recognize blessings that were hidden within challenges. You will see how my timing protected you, how my wisdom guided you, and how my love sustained you even during difficult moments. Until that day arrives, continue trusting me. Continue seeking me. Continue placing your future into my hands. Continue believing that I am working all things together for good. Continue walking forward with hope. My child, I want you to know the same God who has carried you this far will continue carrying you. The same God who provided yesterday will provide tomorrow. The same God who opened doors in the past is capable of opening new doors ahead. Nothing surprises me. Nothing overwhelms me. Nothing is beyond my ability to redeem. Therefore, release your fears. Release your anxieties. Release the burdens you were never meant to carry. Place them into my hands and trust me with the outcome. My beloved child, as this message comes to a close, let these words settle deeply within your heart. You are loved more than you realize. You are stronger than you think because my strength is at work within you. You are never forgotten because your name is written upon my heart. You are never abandoned because my presence goes before you, walks beside you. The journey ahead may contain challenges, but it also contains purpose. It may contain waiting, but it also contains preparation. It may contain uncertainty, but it also contains my guidance. It may contain battles, but it also contains victory. Do not be afraid of what lies ahead. Walk forward with confidence, not because you know everything, but because you know the one who does. Walk forward with faith, knowing that my promises remain true. Walk forward with hope, knowing that my plans for you are good. Walk forward with peace, knowing that I am in control, and whenever you feel weary, uncertain, or discouraged, return to this truth. I am your refuge. I am your provider. I am your healer. I am your guide. I am your light. I am your strength. I am your peace. And I will remain faithful to you through every season, every challenge, every victory, and every step of the beautiful journey that still lies ahead. For my beloved child, the best chapters of your story are not behind you. They are still being written by the one who loves you most.